Hey everybody, this is Total Gamer Junkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So in today's video, I want to talk about what I would like in a Life is Strange free game if it will ever be made. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because, as you know, episode 4 of Life is Strange 2 came out last month, and we just got one episode left, and I believe there's going to be a 4-month gap, and so it will be coming out in December. Don't quote me on this, but that's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. Anyways, in this video, I'm not going to be talking about wanting Max and Chloe or any cameos like that, because as much as I'd want them, then that's what this whole video would be about. So I thought I'd come up with some new ideas I want, because if we don't, because it's far-fetched that, well, it's not far-fetched. Like, I mentioned in the video before, we could possibly get a game with Max and Chloe. The developers could make it, like, if they really wanted to, and if there was a story there. But anyway, so I'm getting off topic. So I'm gonna talk about the 5 things that I would like in Life is Strange 3, and let me know in the comments whether or not you agree with me and what you'd like to see. Now, the first thing I would like in Life is Strange 3 is a good mystery. Now, both Life is Strange 1, if you want to call it that, I just call it Life is Strange. Both Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm had a good mystery. In Life is Strange Before the Storm, when you're playing as Chloe, you discover that her dad was kissing this other woman. And in episode 2, the mystery is like, you gotta find out who this woman is, what's going on, and then you actually discover the truth. Like, it's actually Rachel's mum. Well, actually is. It is Rachel's mum. And then you find out this whole conspiracy going on where she wanted to be a part of Rachel's life, and you find out her dad James has been hiding letters what was her name? Sarah, yeah, hiding letters that Sarah was trying to send to Rachel, even going so far as to hire Damon to I don't think he was trying to kill her. I think he was trying to get addicted to heroin again. But you know, either way, that was like really a good thing, and I especially like that ending because I believe in the Life is Strange Waves and Dust comics. In the Waves timeline. Sorry, I was getting the names mixed up. In the Waves timeline, Max mentions to Chloe, Rachel. I'm already messing this video up. Rachel mentions to Max in issue, I believe it's 6, in issue 6 or 7. She mentions to Max that her family had a secret and she was fed up with it. So I believe in that comic the Before the Storm timeline is Chloe telling Rachel the truth about what happened with her mom and how her dad tried to either get her killed or get her hooked on drugs. And then in Life is Strange 1, the mystery starts off when you're getting your powers, but the mystery really doesn't kick off until episode 2, because you find out Kate was drugged and she tries to kill herself, and then you have to go through, at the end of episode 2, you're like, let's find out what happened to Rachel and Kate and everyone. And so you're looking through school records, you find out how Nathan's been drawing something, he's kept writing Rachel in the dark room. And then you have to, in episode 4, what I really did like was, it was also annoying, it was annoying at me for first, but I still like it. It's where after you go back to the original timeline, this is after you use the photo when you kill or don't kill Chloe with morphine. This is, well, not killing, it's more like mercy. A mercy killing, I guess you could say. And so when you go back to the original timeline, you gotta put all these clues together, and you gotta find out who was meeting who, whose license plate belongs to what car. It's like, who's driving what car, and when and where these drugs were being bought, and you end up pinpointing the location of the old Prescott farm, and that's when you discover the dark room. So that was really good. I really did enjoy that, and I would love to see another mystery. Maybe you play as a detective who gets powers, and you gotta deduce what's been happening and solve mysteries. Like, think Murdered Sole Suspect. That was a game I did like it. Like, I didn't like the ending too much, but I really did enjoy the mystery of it, you know? It's like you got to solve your own murder. Like maybe we could have those powers implemented in Life is Strange 3, where when you touch someone, you see their last moments and how they ended up dying, or something like that, you know what I mean? So that's what the new Life is Strange 3 needs. Well, that's what, not new, you know what I mean? That's what Life is Strange 3 needs. We need a new mystery. Okay, now, the second thing I want is a great antagonist, okay? Now, with Life is Strange 1, Mark Jefferson was... In all the Life is Strange games, Mark Jefferson, it has to be the best antagonist of them all. And the reason I like him so much is because since Life is Strange 1 is where you're trying to uncover what happened to Rachel Amber and you got to solve through this mystery, you never see it coming till episode 4. And so when you first meet him, he seems like an alright guy, like, that he's the reason that Max wanted to go to Blackwell, not to reunite with Chloe, but to learn from Mark Jefferson, who's this, he's this pretty chill photographer who's, I wouldn't say he's retired, but he's still teaching photography and he's working, at this college or school, academy, you know, whatever you want to call it. Is it a college or are college and academy the same thing? I'm getting off topic. Anyways, it's not till episode 4 that we discover that he has been pulling the strings. He was responsible for what happened to Kate. He's been abducting a bunch of girls and taking photos of them. And he even killed Nathan, which, you know, I'm not too sad about. He also manipulated Nathan and got him to use his family's money to build an underground bunker, okay, where he has all this high-tech equipment and he can take as many photos as he wants. He also has Nathan getting him drugs from Frank Bowers. Now, when you first play the game, like, everyone assumes, even me, I was like, Nathan Prescott's got to be the bad guy, look at this. Because it made sense. He had a gun pointed at Chloe, right? In episode 1. Then when you're later in episode 1, he attacks Warren and goes to attack Max. And then he's just really a piece of shit, and it's like, even though he wasn't responsible for all the kidnappings except for Rachel, you're like, yeah, this is my guy. And then even Jefferson, he subtly hints about the dark room in episode 2. This is before Kate jumps off the roof. I don't know the exact words, but he says, I think it might have been, he said, I could capture any one of you in a dark room. I could frame any one of you in a dark room and capture you in a moment of despair. And that's exactly what happens to Kate and Max and Victoria if she ends up there, and everyone else. And like, because he's technically, I don't think he's killed any of his subjects, like, because Rachel Amber did die, but that wasn't because of Jefferson, that was Nathan. And Nathan was trying to impress Jefferson, but he accidentally ended up ODing Rachel, which was fucking stupid of him, I guess. And because of that, Jefferson knew that Nathan became a liability, was becoming a liability, and he had to go, and he killed him off. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Life is Strange 2, the antagonists aren't really that great. I mean, like, the first antagonist, I'd say, I know people would say is the bully, this in episode 1, before Daniel gets his powers, but for me, the antagonist is that shopkeeper at that gas station, whatever his name was, the racist. And then after that, in episode 2, there wasn't really an antagonist. Then episode 3, I guess you could say it was Meryl and his Bigfoot bodyguard. Then episode 4, the antagonist was that religious woman who had Daniel. None of them really did anything for me, you know. I want a well-written antagonist, because that's really what I look forward into a game. Like, if I gotta fight an enemy or something, I want an antagonist who has a good plot, good story, a good reason for doing the things that they're doing, or even if it's a bad reason, like, have some sense behind it. I really hope that Life is Strange 3 does have a great antagonist, and God, I really look forward to fighting him or her, or maybe even not one antagonist, maybe more than one, but their goals are the same. Now, for the third thing I want for Life is Strange 3, I want another person to have powers, so more than one. And this could work a few ways. Maybe when when the new protagonist for Life is Strange 3 discovers he or her have powers, another person could have witnessed this, and they have powers as well. And so this could kickstart an adventure with you and this other person, and this guy or girl is teaching you how to master your abilities, and can be sort of like a mentor, a mother or father figure. Could become your new best friend or enemy, possibly a romance option. Just, you know what I mean, just something like that. Because, like, I guess you could say in Before the Storm that we already had two people with powers, like, because Rachel's mother, because Rachel in this, she does have power, pyrokinetics. Not gonna lie, okay, I didn't care what the developer said. I'm saying it's true. And also in the cut content, Sarah was apparently the reason for Chloe's dreams or something like that. I forget what it said, I have to go back and read it, but that was cut content, so we didn't get to explore more on that. But Sarah does have powers, so powers can be passed on genetically as well. But you just but whether or not you need a traumatic experience to activate it, I don't know. But Rachel here, when she uses her powers, when we see the fire, you can say that's a traumatic experience. So that's how she could have gotten her powers. At this very moment is when she first uses them. Now, I know how people are like, oh, only one person with powers is needed. You don't need like a whole bunch of people. Because I don't think so. Because you got like Max and Chloe. Chloe has no idea the pressure that Max has to go through with her powers, and at the same time, Sean, he has no idea what Daniel has to go through, for all his, because he's at such a young age and he's got all these powers and he doesn't know what to do with them. He knows how to use them and that, but he's lacking purpose basically, because he hasn't found anyone else like him, and so it's pretty hard for him. And Sean is still a kid himself, so it's not like he can teach Daniel how to use his powers. If you know what I mean? It's not like Sean has powers and can teach Daniel how to master them and that, because as we all know, he doesn't. We all thought their mother Karen was gonna have powers, but that was bullshit. I can't believe her excuse for leaving. God damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna be such a bitch to her in episode 5. But anyway, that's it for my third reason. And now I'm gonna move on to my fourth, which I call a relationship triangle. Now, bear in mind, I do not mean a romantic relationship, but maybe it could happen that way. But what I mean is this: one of the things I did like in episode 3 was when Sean, Cassidy, and the third guy, I forget his name, but we're not going to involve him. But anyways, it's when Sean and Cassidy, Jacob, that was it. When Sean and Cassidy and Jacob all find out he has powers, they're all trying to figure out what to do. And Finn, he wants to rob Meryl's safe and get the money so that him, his crew, Sean and Daniel could have the easy life, and it would make getting the Porto Lobos that much easier for Sean and Daniel, and it would make Finn, Cassidy, and the others, Jacob and the other ones, I forget what their name is, Penny and something others, you know the people I mean. So I think it would be pretty cool if there's a triangle thing, like where you got two people who are friends and they're fighting over. Because if you remember, Cassidy was fighting. He was going to Finn. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. She was going to Finn, you're a fucking idiot. We can't use Daniel. He's just a goddamn kid. And then later, when you talk to Finn, when Cassidy's not there, he goes, hey, we could use Daniel, we can do it ourselves, you, me, and him, we'll get all the money and you two can go to Puerto Lobos. And he's obviously saying this, and he's making sure that he's away from Cassidy so that she doesn't hear. And if you choose not to, then he's going to persuade Daniel to do it, and ultimately they end up doing it. Now, what I think should happen here is, let's just say this doesn't have to involve anyone powers. All right. Well, let's say for example, you and another person have powers, and you need to break into some place. Like if you want to use your powers for your own personal game, you could have a friend who'll be like, no, don't do this, and this person could not have powers, and so a non-powered person be like, no, don't do this. Whatever your name is, the main protagonist of the third game, it's like, this is wrong, and then you can go. Then the other person with powers can go. It's like it could be. It depends what the situation is really, but you could have two people. What I'm saying is, you have the protagonist, and he's got it, and you have another person with powers trying to tell the protagonist that they can do this thing if it's bad, but it will benefit them. Then you got the person without powers opposing it, like how Finn and Cassidy are arguing over Daniel. But the same thing could happen. What if it's two people? What if there's three people with powers and you're arguing over what to do? Like they're going to the main protagonist. We should do this. We should do that, and you have to choose what to do. I guess one way you could I'm getting tongue-tied. One way you could look at it is with Infamous 2, where if you play that, there are these two characters, Nix and Quo, and you gotta decide what you're gonna do, and it's good karma versus bad karma, and you gotta decide who you want to side with, and because the missions, what you choose, good or bad karma, you end up siding with them. So it's really, what are you gonna do? That's basically what the game asks. Who do you want to support? Now, it doesn't have to involve powers at all. Like, this could be like let's just say this scenario involves powers as well. You meet someone who has powers, and they're so shocked that to meet another person with powers, they could be like thinking they were the only ones. And then they meet your protagonist in Life is Strange 3 and be like, we should hang out more. And so you get to know this person, but you could have a best friend, or like a family, for example. Let's just say you're close with your family, like your parents, and then you meet this other person, they have powers, and then you start neglecting your family and hanging out with this person with powers more, because even though your family's blood, this person has more of an understanding about what it's like to be in your situation, because you can't tell your parents, because they wouldn't know unless they had powers, which is possible, but it's also possible they don't. So that'd be pretty interesting to see the main character in conflict between a person with powers that's like them and their friends and family. I really would like to see that relationship triangle work out, and you got two sides fighting and you have to choose what you're gonna do. Okay, so now we are on to the fifth and last the last thing I want for Life is Strange 3. And the last thing I want is to use your powers for your own personal gain. Now, let's assume that you get powers, okay? Because I assume you're going to get powers, you're going to play as a person with powers in the third game. Like, Life is Strange 1, you played as someone with powers. Then, Before the Storm, which is Chloe, you didn't have any powers. Then, Captain Spirit, you didn't have any powers. And Life is Strange 2, you don't have any powers. So that's 3 to 1. So we need to get those numbers up, people. We need to change it from 1 to 3 to 2 to 3, so we can have people with powers now. I mean, people, you know what I mean, like, as in your character, the one you're playing as, should have powers. Now, to be honest, there hasn't really been many moments where Max or Daniel use their powers for their own personal gain. Like, one of the reasons, and I know you people are going to disagree with me, but think about it. Alright, when Max uses her powers, like when she discovers that she has a rewind powers, you can use them to persuade people and change their opinion of you. But the most two impactful choices was when she decided to go back in time and save William from dying in the car accident. But of course that meant Chloe ended up being paralyzed. Now with episode 5 at the end, you can choose this. I guess you could say this is also for your own personal gain. You can you can, well, I'm pretty sure you all know, you sacrifice Arcadia Bay to save Chloe. And that's really like a personal gain thing there, but like, I mean, aside from those two choices, I want a character who basically starts off like as nothing. Like maybe because I also want a female protagonist again, because I enjoyed playing as Max, and I don't know if it's just me, but I prefer playing as female protagonist than male protagonist. But that's not important. Let's get into this. Now, let's just say the character starts off as a complete loser, okay? Like, you could be at school, like, and you could be a bully victim, basically, like Kate was. Now, the moment you do get powers, you can choose how you're going to use them. Are you going to help people with them, or use them for your own personal gain? And one of the ways you could be is you could screw with bullies, like ruin their grades or report cards, or just steal whatever you want, money, and just like maybe you end up using your powers to beat someone up, and then like they're so scared of you they won't bother you anymore. But it's not like they have a camera to record you. They're not going to believe you. No one's going to believe them when they say it. Now, I really think that this should be implemented, because Daniel has used his powers for his own personal gain. I wouldn't say he's used them for his own personal gain. Finn was the one that persuaded him to try and rob Meryl, so that was really his doing. No, it wasn't Daniel's. Daniel didn't do it of his own volition. Because I really want to see someone with powers actually get selfish and use them for their own personal gain. And I keep saying this because I really want to see it, because I'm not going to lie, if I had powers, I would use them for my own personal gain. I mean, I'd help out my family as well, depending on what the power is, but I would also use it for my personal gain, mainly. So anyways, that's really all I had to talk about. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you let me know if I did a good job by leaving a like or comment in the video below, you know what I mean. Anyways, that's all. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Total Gamer Junkie, signing off.